Arabia, the birthplace of three world great religions, Judaism, Christianity and Islam. Prophet Muhammad, born in 570, spread the message of Allah from Medina and then Makkah. Islam thus became one of the newest religions with 1.6 billion adherents. Islam started spreading in Asia by land, from Syria to Persia and then to Asia through Afghanistan. Seafaring Arab traders used to come to India as in the past and brought Islam to India. Thus, the new religion reached India through the seafaring Arab Muslim traders. Islam became a fast-growing religion in Asia. Islam reaches Malabar hills of Kerala. King Cheraman Perumal accepted Islam after meeting Prophet Muhammad. He ordered the construction of a masjid at Kodungallur in present-day Thrissur district, 35 km from Cochin. This is the first masjid built in India. Islam reaches Surat through seafaring trade. Muhammad bin Qasim invaded Sindh of Western India in 712. Muslim rule in India starts. Simultaneously, the Sufi saints of Hanafi order arrived with missionary tasks. Qutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki was one of the first to arrive in Delhi and propagate Islam during the reign of Qutubuddin Aibak and Iltutmish. Another great Sufi saint, a contemporary of Qutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti of Ajmer, initiated the missionary work of spreading Islam. Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, another Sufi saint of Chishti order, continued the missionary work of Bakhtiyar Kaki in Delhi, spread the message of God, unity of mankind, and rejected distinction based on social, economic, and religious beliefs, advocated in favor of Sima, that is, Sufi ceremonial performance of devotional songs and music called Zikr. Muslim rule slowly expanded from Delhi to Bihar and then to Bengal. Bakhtiyar Khilji, a trusted general of Qutubuddin Aibak, invaded present-day Lower Assam, known at that time as Kamrupa, in 1205 on his way to conquer Tibet. He was eventually defeated by the Kamrupa king Prithu. Bakhtiyar Khilji escaped from Kamrupa from Kanai Borokibwa, but a large number of his soldiers were killed and many were captured as prisoners of war. These captured soldiers were given land and settlement by King Prithu near Mandakata of present-day Kamrup district. This was the starting point of the formation of the first generation of the Muslims in Assam. Muslim Sufi saints started the missionary works in Assam. Among the first to come was Ghyasuddin Aulia, a great Sufi saint. He set up a hermitage in the 14th century on the Gorurachal hill at Hajo, 35 km away from Guwahati, to spread the message of Islam. It is believed that the Aulia had brought one poa, a quarter of a kilogram of soil from Makkah and placed it on the foundation of the masjid he constructed. Therefore, Gorurachal Hill came to be known as Pua Makkah. The masjid was later on rebuilt by two architect engineers, Lutfullah Siraji and Niyamatullah, at the farman of Prince Suja, son of Emperor Shah Jahan. The farman, written in Arabic and Persian, has been fixed on the wall of the masjid. Bengal governor Hussain Shah invaded and occupied Lower Assam and constructed a magnificent masjid at Panbari Rangamati in 1498. The masjid represents Persian art and architecture. Ahom kings Suhung Muhung to Rudrahingha from the 15th to the 17th centuries encouraged sponsored migration of Muslims specialized in various arts and crafts from North India. 8 families were invited. One of them was Gunakutia, experts in embroidery works. One of their finest creations is king cup dresses. Another invited family was Akhorkotia. They were skilled personnel who engraved letters on royal coins, besides writing king's formal orders on copper plates and tablets. Islam reached the Barak Valley through conversion and migration. Phokirtila, this one-doomed masjid, was built in the year 1630 by the side of the river Kakra in the Karimganj district. This masjid is a testimony to the advent of Islam in the valley. This is one of the holiest places in the region. Mir Jumla, governor of Bengal, invaded Assam in 1662. He undertook the military expedition from Khijirpur near Dhaka and proceeded towards Assam through river route. Halted at Panbari for some time, constructed an Eidgah field for his soldiers, which was used by locals too. A Golaghar, a magazine house, was constructed, now an abundant and uncared for site, bearing the past memories of Mughals' presence. Kajulimukh, a strategic position, a confluence where the Kolong River meets the Brahmaputra. Here, several fierce battles took place over the years, including one in which Mir Jumla defeated the Ahom army and proceeded to Koliabor. The Ahoms erected earthen fortifications. One is Samdharagor. It is about 43 kilometers long. Mir Jumla overrun these fortifications and reached Gorgaon, the capital city of the Ahom kings. Mir Jumla did not enter the Ahom royal palace after occupying the capital. Shahabuddin Talish, a historian covering the entire military expedition, was amazed to see the palatial complex at Gorgaon, a wooden structure of fine works. The structure called Karenghor, which still stands, was constructed much later. Mir Jumla left Gorgaon for Khijirpur in the latter part of 1663, but left behind many of his soldiers, including the gun makers. Most of the large cannons, used later by the Ahom artillery division, were made a Muslim. He was Gandhela Goria. Another structure, Golaghar, magazine house, was built by the Muslims of that time. Mir Jumla returned to Bengal by river route, leaving behind a large number of his soldiers. They eventually became an indispensable part of the Assamese society. He died in his return journey and was buried at Khijirpur from where he had started the military journey. Some of the Mughal soldiers fled away from the camp and reached a place called Khanwa in present-day Dorong district. Some of them came from Khanwa of present-day Uttar Pradesh. Therefore, the escapees named this unnamed village after the place of their origin. Muslim settlements grew here too. The physical features of the villagers resemble the people of Uttar Pradesh. Jaintipur in Koliabar of Nagaon district, one of the largest villages of the Maurya community, which grew up at the time of the invasion of Turbak in 1532 to 1533. This masjid, built in 1570, testifies to their settlement. Its interiors tells about the admixture of local and Persian art and architecture. The Mauryas living in Jaintipur, earlier named Turukhati and then Maurya, are the descendants of the captured Turkish origin soldiers of Turbak. The Maurya community was involved by Ahom kings in making small and large cannons, some of which are found in and around Jaintipur. The Mughal invasions led to the constructions of gors or earthen walls or forts in different parts of Assam. One such is Malegor. Another was Ramrajagor, unfortunately now on the verge of total destruction. Muslim settlements grew around these gors. The Mughal army of Emperor Aurangzeb, led by a Rajput general, Raja Ram Singh, invaded Assam. The Ahom army, commanded by Lachit Borphukon, faced the powerful Mughals at Horaighat, the north bank of the Brahmaputra, near Guwahati. A fierce battle took place. This was a major battle of Assam with the Mughals, in which the Mughals were squarely defeated. One of the heroes of the battle was Bagh Hazarika, alias Ismail Siddiqui, a trusted junior of General Lachit Borphukon. Bagh Hazarika was an expert in artillery warfare. Another trusted associate of Lachit Borphukon, Laidon Khan. He hailed from present-day Mandakata of Kamrup. The last battle with the Mughals took place in 1682 at Kajolimukh, in which the Ahom army inflicted total defeat on the invading forces. In this battle also, the Ahom army comprised Assamese Muslim soldiers. Hajo, known as Panchatirtha, also a place of interface of three religions, Buddhism, Hinduism and Islam. Hoigrib Mother Mandir is an iconic symbol of peace and harmony among religious communities. Close to this holy place is Pua Makkah. Adjacent to the Hoigrib Mother Mandir, there is Fakirpara, famous for brass making. The Muslim community, since their first footing in the 16th century, has remained steadfast to this art. They adopt indigenous method of furnace to mold brass sheets to shape various products. Very close to the capital of the Ahom kings, near the Dikho river, and by the side of the Goryajan rivulet, there is the famous Dargah of Azan Phokir. His actual name was Shah Miran, the greatest Sufi saint of Assam. He came from Baghdad, stayed for about 10 years in Sunpura village in present-day Sipsagar district, before finally reaching Horaguri Sapuri at the confluence of the Dikho river and the Goryajan, learnt Assamese and composed devotional songs known as jikirs, which carry the message of interfaith, harmonious relationship and brotherhood. Assam is a land of peers and fakirs. Close to famous Netai Dhumuni Ghat or Beola Lokhindor legend is the Panch Peer Dargah. 5 peers came to Lower Assam during the reign of Aurangzeb in Delhi. Many more Sufi peers, like their predecessors, taught the Muslims the lessons of peace, social harmony and equality, spread the message of liberal Islam and asked the Muslims to integrate themselves into the society where they live. In Assam, there are more than 100 mazars, also known as dargahs, spread all over the state. Garigaon Mazar of Sheikh Jalaluddin Tabrizi near Guwahati University is one such dargah of a Sufi saint. A number of great peers and fakirs came to the Barak Valley. One of them is Adam Khaki. One of the famous mazars in Upper Assam is Boga Baba Mazar in the heart of Dibrugarh town. This mazar is a symbol of Hindu-Muslim unity and understanding. A Hindu temple stands by the Boga Baba Mazar. The land of the temple was donated by the local Muslims. Azan Phokir used to copy the Holy Quran. This Quran is a copy made by him. But his greatest creation and contribution are more than 160 jikirs composed in Assamese. There are variations in the performance of a jikir. In this jikir, performed in Jengonikotia, Sipsagar, Kortal is used. This is another variety performed in Naharoni village, one of the places where jikir performance takes place on various occasions such as marriage ceremony, Eid and so on. It is remarkable that these jikirs have the Vaishnava folk flavor. Langar Shah Dargah near Golaghat town. Langar Shah Fakir opposed the British occupation of Assam in 1838. He was arrested and chained. By using his supernatural power, he freed himself from chains and came down to the place where his dargah stands. There are varieties of devotional songs in Barak Valley, composed in Bengali language. The content is Islamic, but the tune is of Bengali folk song and music. The performers reach a stage when they become frenzied. They claim at that point they forget their selves and come nearer to God. A masjid symbolizes every Muslim settlement. This is the oldest masjid in Naharani village near Dergaon. It looks like a Vaishnava Namghar. The Mirzabag Masjid in Dibrugarh town is a testimony of the combination of Indian and Persian architecture. The Dibrugarh Bazaar Masjid represents the combination of Persian and Bengal architecture. The interiors of the masjid, decorated by small tiles, tell clearly about this combination. It is worth mentioning that the prime land in the heart of the town where this masjid stands was donated by Koka Nilamani Phukar, a freedom fighter and former president of the Assam Sahitya Sabha. Purana Masjid, constructed in 1835 in the heart of Jorhat town, preserves a few articles of Islamic heritage, including 3 19th century large copper cauldrons, which are used even today, occasionally in community feasts. The original structure of the masjid has been given a modern face. An epitaph by the title of the Purana Masjid reminds that the Muslims, as in today, had Assamese names and titles. New masjids started growing, replacing older ones. The Jama Masjid at Hojai in Nagaon district is one of such mosques with modern architecture. It is an elegant expression of Indo-Arab architecture. A masjid next to Shivdol at Sipsagar speaks of harmonious interfaith relationship. Another heritage site where a Kali Mandir stands close to a masjid, separated only by a small brick wall at Alamganj in Dhubri district. A Muslim mason builds a mandir. A Hindu carpenter engraves calligraphic text of the Quran in a masjid.
আমি বিলাসীপুৰা টাউনলৈ আহিলোঁ এটা খবৰ পাই যে এটা কালী মন্দিৰ নিৰ্মাণ হৈ আছে এই কালী মন্দিৰটো আৰু এই কালী মন্দিৰটো নিৰ্মাণত আপুনি নিৰ্মাণকাৰী বুলি শুনিছোঁ আপোনাৰ নামটো ক'বনে
মোৰ নাম
ইলিয়াছ হুছেইন
Another such example where a Hindu carpenter has engraved Quranic calligraphy in a mosque.
আপোনাৰ নামটো কওকচোন
মোৰ নাম উত্তম ৰয়
আপোনাৰ ঘৰ ক'ত
মোৰ ঘৰ একচুয়ালি শিলিগুড়িত আছিল বৰ্তমান যোৰহাট পূজাডবি ৰোড
আপুনি এই মছজিদৰ কাঠৰ কামখিনি কৰিছিলে নহয় জানো
কৰিছিলোঁ
কামখিনি যেতিয়া আৰম্ভ কৰিছিলে কোন চনত আৰম্ভ কৰিছিলে বাৰু
এইটো আপোনাৰ 82 বা 83 হ'ব মই পাহৰিলোঁ মানে
কিমান সময় লাগিছিল
এইটো মোটামুটি মোৰ কৰোঁতে 2 বছৰৰ ওপৰত লাগিছিলে
Ghanashamuddin, a Muslim architect engineer, was brought by King Rudrasingha to construct royal buildings. These structures, including the Ghanashyam Ghar, represents the combination of Ahom and Bengal art and architecture. Assam has more than 1,500 private madrasas. Some of these are well known. One is Ahom Jamiul Ulum Madrasa at Dibrugarh, established in 1903. Another is Batipuria Madrasa, where along with Islamic education, other subjects such as English, mathematics and social studies are taught. These madrasas provide free education as also food and accommodation in hostels. Some of the madrasas have taken up Sarva Shiksha course also. Memorizing the Quran is an important part of the madrasa education. One of the primary Islamic educational institution, Baskandi Madrasa, was set up by a Manipuri Muslim in the Barak Valley in 1897 in a campus of 20 bighas of land donated by Nena Mia, 11 kilometers away from Silchar town. It is treated as a university imparting various courses by 41 teachers. It is a residential institution like most of the madrasas, where about 1,500 students are given free education, food and accommodation. Madrasas are in transition, accepting the challenges advanced by the contemporary world of competition and globalization. They are in the process of modernization, teaching English, mathematics, general sciences and social studies, besides maintaining the Islamic tradition of education and heritage. One of the notable aspects of Islamic heritage is the institution of orphanage, where helpless orphans are kept. One such is located at Odali, near Hojai, where more than 400 orphans are given free accommodation, education, clothes and food. This is one of the finest showcases of Islamic heritage kept alive since the days of Prophet Muhammad. The Markaz Model Girls Madrasa at Hojai is a classic example of modernization of the girls' madrasas in different parts of the state. This is an English medium residential madrasa which has 770 students and 44 teachers. One of the highly advanced institutions of higher education is the Mariam Girls College of Science and Technology at Hojai. It has all modern facilities, including an elegant girls' hostel. Khanka. The Khanka is a heritage institution of the Muslims, which has a long history since 1461, when a Sufi saint, Al-Makrizi, set up the first Khanka in Persia. Unlike a mosque, where namaz is offered at a fixed time, a Khanka is exclusively dedicated to the worship of Allah at all times. In Assam, one does not find many Khankas. Maulud is a traditional way of singing in praise of Prophet Muhammad. Maulud is performed in a masjid, open place and also in residential houses, mainly on the 12th day of Rabiul Awwal, the birth and death anniversary of the Prophet. It is also arranged on auspicious occasions, including marriage ceremonies. The Maulud is generally sung in Urdu. However, there are Assamese Mauluds too. Like any community, for the Muslims, marriage is an important institution. It is a bride-centric affair. On the day before nikah, the bride is taken out from an inner room, accompanied by two ladies, to make preparation for ceremonial bath. Their heads are covered so that males cannot see their faces. Turmeric pulp is pasted on the bride. The bride offers betel nuts to the ladies and seeks blessings. Wedding songs play a vital role in marriages. As the bride is seated before the arrival of the groom, women at the backyard sing wedding songs. The groom part arrives, offer tea, soft drink and cakes. The close relatives of the bride and the groom sit for a discussion to finalize the proceedings of the nikah.
আপোনালোকৰ অনুমতি দিলে দুই পক্ষৰ মানুহ যদি সকলো ইয়াত উপস্থিত আছে তেতিয়াহ'লে আমাৰ কাম আৰম্ভ কৰিব বিচাৰিছোঁ। সৰ্বপ্ৰথমে তিলাৱত হ'ব।
আউযু বিল্লাহি মিনাশ শাইতানিৰ ৰাজীম। বিসমিল্লাহিৰ ৰহমানিৰ ৰহিম। ইয়া আইয়ুহাল ইনসানু মা গharraka birabbikal kareem।
Two traditional bottas with betel nuts and leaves cut in proper sizes are placed for exchange to start the proceedings. An elderly person initiates the discussion. There is an exchange of pan botta as a mark of traditional initiation of discussion with profound mutual respect. An elderly person is appointed to administer nikah in presence of two witnesses. He asks the bride first whether she authorizes him to administer nikah.
শিৱসাগৰ নৱালী অঞ্চলৰ বিদিন নগৰ নিবাসী মোৰ ভাই আলহাজ সৈয়দ আহমদ ছগিৰৰ প্ৰথম পুত্ৰ সৈয়দ মোহাম্মদ মেহদি হাছানৰ লগত ৯১,১১১ টকা দেন মোহৰণা ধাৰ্য কৰি চিমুক ক'লোঁ, তোমাক নিকাহ দিবৰ কাৰণে মোক কৰ্তৃত্ব দিছানে?
When she responds positively, he puts the same question to the bridegroom. As the groom accepts, the nikah is complete. It is followed by a prayer.
নাজিৰক মই তোমাৰ লগত ৯১,১১১ টকা দেন মোহৰ ধাৰ্য কৰি নিকাহ দিলোঁ, তুমি কবুল কৰিছানে?
ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين ربنا آتنا ما.
Some of the Muslim villages have fascinating folk heritage. Women sing folk songs on the eve of circumcision. The songs, composed in colloquial Assamese language, suggest that the mother of the boy, whose circumcision would be performed, bore him for 10 days and 10 months and then brought him up to the age when he would now go for it. Like many communities in Assam, the rural Muslims too believe that there is a goddess of measles called Ai. When she visits a village, some residents suffer from measles. Elderly women sing songs, Ainam, to please the goddess and offer joba phul, that is, hibiscus flowers, grams and bananas. Singers offer prayer and blow air into water kept in a container to be mixed with water in a large bucket for the bath of the afflicted person. In some of the Muslim villages, as in Dampur, Muslim sings Beula Lokhindor ballad, which tells how a poisonous snake strikes the newlywed Lokhindor and how his bride leaves no stone unturned to bring him back to life. Here, singer Jamshed Ali sings one of such ballads.
Hopano dekia beulai milo seton milibano mare aki kuiba dorila hopano re joto kotha mono de borila adarati beulai kandiba dorila beulai bile soibo silano ke jamjo hai awe tu razar pukurit pani no.
Women in Dampur village sing Kamal Kori ballad, telling how a king sacrificed his wife to get water for his people. Assam has many Islamic heritage sites and places. One such is Joypal Pukhuri or Pond in Dorong district. A Hindu saint Joypal came to Dorong in the 16th century after he became a Muslim. With the help of his followers, he turned a low-lying area into a large pond and constructed a masjid by the side. Conversion played a role in the formation of the Muslim community in Assam. Sufi saints initiated the process of conversion since the days of Ghiyasuddin Aulia. After accepting Islam, the newly converted people retained most of their folk and indigenous traditions, which are being followed by them even today. The village of Porokhu Ojha, like Dampur, is inhabited by the descendants of converts. About 200 years back, Porokhu Ojha's son, Durna, accepted Islam and the whole village followed his path. These Muslims retain some of the past traditions and keep puja articles.
Naam tu ki? Nani? Rahmani Begum. Ita boyok kiman man hoisi? 80 বছৰ বেছি হৈছে চাৰি কুৰি 10 বছৰ মান হ'ব নহয় জানো আচ্ছা তো বিয়া কৰ পৰা কৰা আনিছিল নানি এই আলিগাখৰ পৰা এতে বিয়া হৈ আইছিলি পদো নানাৰ ওচৰত না পদো নানাৰ লগত বিয়া হৈ আহোঁতে কি দেখা পাইছিলি বিয়াৰ সময়ত কি হৈছিল ন বিয়াৰ সময়ত আহোঁতে ঢোল বজোৱা নাই তাল বজাইছিল তাল বজাওঁতে আপুনি এখন ঘৰৰ বোৱাৰী হৈ আহিল মানে শহুৰ বুঢ়া নামটো কি আছিল সানা কাৰ লৰা আছিল জানানে দ্ৰোণৰ লৰা আছিল দ্ৰোণ কাৰ লৰা আছিল হেতু জানা নেকি সেই পিৰিত
আমাৰ দৰঙী কলাকৃষ্টিৰ হুকনানী ওজাপালিৰ যিজন প্ৰধান গুৰু আছিল পৰশু ওজা তেওঁ মই নাতি বোৱাৰী হওঁ আৰু তেওঁৰ দিনতে যিখিনি আমাৰ সামগ্ৰী পূজাৰ সামগ্ৰী আছিলে সেইখিনি আমি এতিয়াও মানে সংৰক্ষণ কৰি ভালদৰে ভঁৰাল ঘৰৰ পিছফালে থাপনাত থৈ দিয়া আছে আমি যদিও নামানো মুছলিম হিচাপে যদিও নামানো সেইখিনি এতিয়াও আমি ভালদৰে পবিত্ৰ হিচাপে থাপনাত সজাই থৈ দিছো এতিয়াও আমাৰ তাত আগৰ সেই তেতিয়াৰ দিনৰে গণেশ মূৰ্তিটো এতিয়াও আমি ভালদৰে ৰাখিছো আৰু যিখিনি বস্তু আছে সেইখিনি আমি এতিয়াও ভালদৰে থৈছো আমাৰ মুছলিম হিচাপে আকিকা কুৰবানী ধৰক গৰুটো আমাৰ দিয়া হয় সেইটো আমি এতিয়াও মানে বৰ্জন কৰাই আছে আমি মহ আৰু ছাগলী মানে আকিকা আৰু কুৰবানীত আমি দিওঁ আৰু
Another example of retaining and mixing Hindu practices with Islamic prayer.
সব মঙ্গলে হবে যা তোমরা সব পূর্ণ হয়ে যাবে তোমার মনের আশা তোমার পূর্ণ হবে আসসালামু আলাইকুম ওয়া আলাইকুম আসসালাম
Dhampur, the largest Muslim village in Assam, with more than 13,000 families and several idgahs and 28 masjid.
Dhampur is one of the biggest villages in the state of Assam, having Muslim population. Indigenous Muslim people, I would say that. We are converted people. Our ancestor was Behinath Sharma.
Dhampur has the magnificent tradition of preparing countless varieties of pithas, that is, rice cakes. Every rural Muslim house has a loom manned by women of different ages. Agar is a heritage industry of the Muslims. Dark portions in agar trees are cut out to make small chips, as narrated by Saida Fatima Begum, the lone woman in the industry.
ধৰক এটা হয় কাঠ ইয়াত এইটো টেংকিত ধৰক গেলাব লাগিব 1.5 মাহমান আৰু দ্বিতীয়টো হ'ল ইয়াত মাল তাৰ যিটো সৰু সৰু টুকুৰা কৰি ইয়াত গেলোৱা হয় প্ৰায় 3 মাহমান এইটো বস্তু গেলাব লাগে ইটো ধৰক 1.5 মাহ এমাহ গেলালে ইয়াত এইটো জেগাত 25 কেজি ধৰে ইয়াত ধৰক পানী অকণমান ইমান পানী দি ফুলকে দি ইয়াত তলত জুই দিব লাগিব
জুই দিয়ে না
জুই 5 দিনমান মানে দিলে 1 নম্বৰ যিটো তেল হয় সেইটো ওলাই আহে এই ফাইবেদি ধৰক আহি পেলাই ইয়াত কৰে
Agar oil is very expensive, so also the chips containing the dark patches carved out by workers. These are marketed in the Middle East via Mumbai. It is a very profitable, labor-intensive business in which several hundred people find means of livelihood. The Imam at the end of namaz leads the people in praying for peace, progress and prosperity of mankind. Muharram is another important celebration in which Tazia is performed. The participants perform martial art and play with fire. People belonging to various sections come out to see the Tazia procession and the display of martial art. As already mentioned, Ahom kings encouraged sponsored migration of Muslims.
মুছলমান অসমলৈ অহাৰ পৰা সেই তেতিয়াৰ পৰা পৰ্যায়ক্ৰমে মুছলমান আহি আছে। কেতিয়াবা বন্দী হৈছে ইয়াত যুদ্ধত, কেতিয়াবা হয়তো ব্যৱসায় সংক্ৰান্তত আহিছে বা আন ধৰণে আহিছে। এতিয়া ধৰক আজান ফকীৰ আজান পীৰ বা তেওঁৰ লগৰীয়াসকল অসমলৈ আহিল, তেওঁলোকতো কোনো অনা নহয়, নিজে আহিছে। গতিকে বিভিন্ন সময়ত আহিছে আৰু ইয়াত ৰৈ গৈছে। তেওঁলোক ৰৈ যোৱাৰ পিছত তেওঁলোকে বৃত্তি একোটা ঠিক কৰি লৈছে আৰু সেইমতে তেওঁলোকে অসমত সংস্থাপিত হৈছে।
মই শিৱসাগৰৰ দৌল পৰিয়ালৰ এজন সদস্য। আমাৰ পৰিয়ালটো শিৱসাগৰত বা অসমত নেগেৰীয়া পৰিয়াল হিচাপে জনাজাত। আমাৰ বংশৰ পূৰ্বপুৰুষে শিৱদৌলত নেগেৰা বজাইছিলে, পূজা অৰ্চনা কৰাৰ আগতে নেগেৰা বজাইছিলে। আমাৰ নেগেৰা বজাৰ লগে লগে ৰজা আহি পাই ৰজাই তাত পূজা পাতল কৰে আৰু সেই পৰম্পৰা ৰক্ষা কৰি বৰ্তমানলৈকে দৌল উন্নয়ন কমিটিয়ে আমাক এইটো প্ৰদান কৰি আহিছে। আৰু দৌলৰ দুৰ্গা পূজাৰ দিনাখন আমালৈ এটা ছাগলী আগবঢ়ায় আৰু সেই পৰম্পৰা এতিয়াও অটুট আছে। আৰু ৰথযাত্ৰাৰ দিনাখন আমালৈ এটা ৰথযাত্ৰাৰ এখন থাল, ফল মূলৰ থাল আমালৈ আগবঢ়ায়। সেই পৰম্পৰা এতিয়াও চলি আছে।
One of the illustrious descendants of the Akhorkotia family was Bahadur Gaon Burha, who fought against the British as one of the closest associates of Moniram Dewan, a hero in India's first war of independence. Moniram Dewan was sentenced to death and Bahadur Gaon Burha was imprisoned in the infamous cellular jail in Andaman. His grave lies in the heart of Jorhat town. Pothorughat, near Mongoloi town, here British massacred 140 peasants on January 28, 1894, who protested against the atrocious taxation. Going by the heroic heritage of fighting for their motherland and following the footsteps of Bagh Hazarika, Loydon Khan, Bahadur Gaon Burha and Hormuz Ali, several Muslims laid down their lives along with their Hindu brothers.
জাতি বা এজুতি হিউমু ওদৰৰ জীয়াই থাক মানে কৰো কাঠি কামি মৰিলে লগতে যায় মোৰ আল্লাহ জীৱৰে তৰণি নাই মোৰ আল্লাহ দেহৰে
Hajupua Makkah and Hoygrave Madhav Mandir, standing close by, symbolizes the unique heritage of interfaith sharing and tradition, a tradition which could be seen all over. Monikut procession, which takes place in Hajo on the day preceding full moon, is a fascinating example of Muslims' participation in the event along with other communities. The procession starts from the main gate of the Pua Makkah Dargah. the Khadim of the Pua Makkah Dargah and the chief priest of the Haigrave Madhav Mandir lead the procession which ends at the premises of the mandir. Two Muslims, Dilwar and Dosai, did the entire painting work of Hasti Vidya Nava. A number of Muslims contributed to the Assamese language and literature. One of the greatest poets of the 19th century was Mofizuddin Ahmed Hazarika. He was elected president of the Assam Sahitya Sabha in 1930. Dr. Moidul Islam Bora, who served the University of Dhaka as a professor, was elected as the president of the Assam Sahitya Sabha. Translated from Persian into English, the work of Mirza Nathan, a general of Emperor Jahangir, depicting his military expedition to Assam. He was the first Assamese to obtain the PhD degree from University of London on the works of Amir Hassan Dilavi. Sohit Abdul Malik, former president of the Assam Sahitya Sabha, is one of the greatest literary figures of the state. He has to his credit 72 novels, more than 2,000 short stories, large number of poems and songs, research articles, dramas and satirical writings. His patriotic compositions reverberate the world of Assamese music. Justice Abdul Majid, first Muslim barrister and first High Court judge. Sir Soed Sadullah, the first Prime Minister of Assam during the colonial era. Muhammad Taibullah, freedom fighter and author in both Assamese and English. Muslims of Assam contributed a lot to religious literature. Similarly, in the Barak Valley, a large number of writers contributed to this field in Bengali language. To be precise, Islamic heritage in Assam has manifested itself in various forms and styles. The masjids and madrasas, the Sufi tradition, jikirs, dargahs and mazars, the Islamic traditions mixed with local and folk flavor constitute the multifaceted and multi-layer Islamic heritage in the state of Assam.
Jori sahe